I think I'll just lie down here.
Hey folks, welcome back to Marvelous Videos. Today we've got something fun for all the superhero fans out there. We're diving into 15 retro superhero shows that hooked viewers right from their very first episodes. So if you're looking for your next binge, you'll definitely want to add these to your list. And hey, before we jump in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out, and we'd love to have you join the channel. Thanks.
Yes.
Rebirth, Batman Beyond. After suffering a heart attack, Bruce Wayne realizes that it's time to hang up the cowl of the Dark Knight. 20 years later, Bruce's decision has taken a toll on Gotham City as the Jokers, a group of young punks who have fashioned themselves after the clown prince of crime, run around creating havoc. Wayne Enterprises has been overtaken by Derek Powers, who uses it for his nefarious deeds. Warren McGinnis, an employee in the Wayne Powers Enterprise, discovers his latest invention, a deadly nerve gas, and is shocked. Shortly after, Powers finds out and has him killed. Meanwhile, his son Terry runs into Bruce Wayne while running away from the Jokers and discovers his secret. When he finds out that his father was killed, he steals a suit from Wayne's cave and investigates Powers. Wayne is not very thrilled by Terry taking up the mantle, but he reluctantly guides him to stop Powers from selling the nerve gas. Not only is Terry successful, but he also manages to expose Powers to his nerve gas. Happy with his performance, Wayne offers Terry the job of the new Batman, which Terry happily accepts. Back at Wayne Powers, Derek Powers subjects himself to immense radiation to cure himself, but the radiation turns his skin translucent and gives him mutagenic properties. What an intense ride, right? This is the very first two-part episode of the 1999 show Batman Beyond. Set in the early 2040s, the show follows the adventures of the new Batman, Terry McGinnis. With 52 episodes, this cult favorite show is completely worth watching, especially if you don't like the dark undertones of Batman. It was created by Bruce Timm, Alan Burnett, and Paul Dini. On Leather Wings, Batman, the animated series. A bunch of robberies in Gotham City all point to Batman, and Detective Harvey Bullock wants to have him arrested, but the Caped Crusader is no common thief. So, he sets out to investigate in the Gotham Zoo. The culprit turns out to be Dr. Kirk Langstrom, a bat expert who wanted to create a new species that was neither human nor bat. He had experimented on himself, which had turned him into the Man-Bat. Batman took him back to the Batcave and synthesized a formula that turned him back into a human again. This is the plot of On Leather Wings, the first episode of Batman, the animated series, that also marked the first on-screen appearance of Man-Bat. Though first to be produced, On Leather Wings was not the first episode, as The Cat and the Claw Part 1 took the primary spot. We don't know why this decision was made, as On Leather Wings is well written and drawn, and sets the tone for the series well. Created by Eric Radomski and Bruce W. Timm, Batman the animated series ran for 85 episodes, from 1992 to 1995.
You will see them as well as the mist rises.
Night of the Sentinels, X-Men the animated series. Anti-mutant hysteria is on the rise, and the government has sponsored the Mutant Control Agency to bridle criminal mutants. The Mutant Control Agency comes up with gigantic robots called Sentinels to capture or kill all mutants, not just criminal ones, as they are a hateful organization. They also set up a mutant registry, claiming to help mutants deal with their unfortunate condition and use it to hunt them down. The foster parents of Jubilee, a mutant, decide to register her, hoping that she would get help. When the Sentinels target Jubilee, a foster kid, and kidnap her, it's up to Charles Xavier and his X-Men to save her. So Rogue, Storm, Cyclops, Wolverine, Gambit, and Morph team up to free Jubilee and destroy the mutant registry that feeds the agency information. This is the plot of Night of the Sentinels, the pilot episode of X-Men the animated series, which ran from 1992 to 1997 and was entirely directed by Larry Houston. The show also features many other popular Marvel characters like Jean Grey, Cable, Juggernaut, Mr. Sinister, Captain America, and Apocalypse. The show is action-packed, and Night of the Sentinels makes sure we are ready for it. Exodus from Thundercats. After planet Thundera is destroyed, Thunderians and Thundercats, the Thunderian nobles, set out with the Sword of Omens, which has the Eye of Thundera, a special gem that gives the Thundercats their powers. Unfortunately, their flagship is attacked by mutants who want the Eye of Thundera for themselves. The battle destroys the navigation system, and the leader of the Thundercats, Jaga, is forced to pilot it while the rest sleep in stasis chambers that slow down their aging. Jaga programs the ship to wake everyone up when their destination, Third Earth, is near, as he realizes that his end is near as well. When the Thundercats reach Third Earth, they realize that they have lost Jaga, and that Lion-O, a child, has now grown to be an adult, as his chamber was also damaged. Still a child in an adult's body, it is left to Lion-O to save his people, establish a new home for the Thunderians, and battle the mutants who refuse to give up their search. It introduces all its characters right at the beginning, and a relic that is wanted by all, the Eye of Thundera. With Exodus as its first episode, Thundercats started with a mighty roar. Based on Tobin Wolfe's characters, Thundercats aired for 130 episodes from 1985 to 1989. Turtle Tracks, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. News reporter April O'Neil is chased by a street gang during her investigation of lab theft. She falls down the sewers and is rescued by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who take her to their leader, Hamato Yoshi. Yoshi explains that he was a ninja of the Foot Clan, till he was framed by his fellow ninja, Oroku Saki. Yoshi had to flee to the United States in disgrace and live in the sewers with only 4 turtles as his companions. A mutagen leak to the sewer system had converted the turtles to resemble humans because of their last contact with Yoshi, and Yoshi into a giant talking rat because of his last contact with rats. April begins to suspect that the 4 turtles were the thieves she was trying to find. The turtles convince her that they are innocent and offer to nab the real thieves for her. It turns out to be the ninjas of the Foot Clan, who had turned to a life of robbery with Oroku Saki as their leader. Though the turtles get the better of them, it is clear that they haven't seen the last of Saki and his ninjas. Silly but entertaining, Turtle Tracks is the first episode of the very popular Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The cheesy beginning that follows cartoon logic through and through is highly responsible for the enduring popularity of the Turtles. Based on Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird's comics, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ran for 193 episodes between 1987 and 1996. Secret Origins. Justice League. 2 astronauts, J. Allen Carter and Ed Reese, accidentally release an alien race trapped on Mars. The alien race, called the Imperium, infiltrates Earth disguised as humans, and one of them, Senator Carter, pushes for nuclear disarmament to weaken Earth. Batman gets a hunch about the human impersonator and teams up with Superman to investigate. They free one of the last Martian survivors, John Jones, who tells them that the invaders had destroyed Mars. Knowing that Earth was next, the trio team up with Flash, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl to stop them. Of course, the aliens are no match for these superheroes, and the Imperium is destroyed. The ever-thoughtful Superman proposes the creation of the Justice League, a group of heroes to save Earth whenever it is in danger, and everyone agrees to join in. With realistic, well-rounded characters and a captivating storyline, there could not have been a better start to the Justice League than Secret Origins. Justice League ran for 52 episodes from 2001 and was directed by Butch Lukic and Dan Reba. The Return of the Beast, the Incredible Hulk. Bruce Banner, tired of letting the Green Monster ruin his life, tries to get a cure, but mid-experiment, his lab is invaded by General Ross and Major Talbot. This rude interruption triggers Bruce's transformation into the Hulk, but Betty Ross arrives just in time to calm him down. Nevertheless, he is seized by the military. He begs Ross to let him cure himself, but Ross does not give a damn about Banner's requests. The leader, realizing Banner's weakness, sends Abomination to nab him. Banner thankfully converts into the Hulk and fights Abomination and the leader. Rick Jones and Betty help him in his fight and send the leader packing. Though Hulk is free for the time being, General Ross remains stubborn in his plans to put an end to the Hulk once and for all. The Return of the Beast clearly opens the Incredible Hulk for us. It's not just about the Hulk smashing things up, but also about the struggle of Dr. Bruce Banner in trying to live his life. Unlike many other representations, Hulk here is a curse to Banner. The same idea continues throughout the 21-episode run of the Incredible Hulk, which, compared to the other shows on this list, is often overlooked. The Last Son of Krypton, Superman, the animated series. Jor-El, a scientist in Krypton, warns the Council that Krypton is going to face destruction soon if they do not heed his words. The Kryptonian Council thinks Jor-El is just fear-mongering, so they ask their AI, Brainiac, for advice. Of course, Brainiac lies, telling them everything's fine, because he figures stopping the destruction is impossible anyway. That lie makes the council turn on Jor-El, and they order his arrest. Jor-El escapes, heads home, and with his wife Lara, makes the heartbreaking choice to save their baby Kal-El by sending him off in a tiny spaceship. That ship crash lands on Earth, where Martha and Jonathan Kent find him and raise him as their own son, Clark. As he grows into a teenager, Clark starts discovering his incredible powers and his Kryptonian origins. Eventually, he vows to use those abilities to help people, becoming Superman, while also juggling his normal life as a reporter at the Daily Planet. The Last Son of Krypton neatly maps Superman's life from Krypton to Earth, and from an oblivious child to a responsible superhero. Though the 3-part episode seems rushed, it covers everything you need to know about the superhero and stays faithful to the comic book series while still modernizing it. A must-watch for those who are new to superhero lore. Superman the Animated Series premiered in 1996 and ended with his 54th episode in 2000. Burning Visions. Spawn. Al Simmons, a CIA agent, is betrayed and killed in a mission. He makes a deal with the demon, Malebolgia. He would serve in Hell's army if he was allowed to return to Earth. Simmons wakes up on Earth again 5 years later, but this time as a Hell Spawn. He discovers that his wife moved on and married his best friend, Terry Fitzgerald. All he has as a companion is the Violator, a demon that looks like a clown and follows him only to taunt him mercilessly. As shady deals takes place, Simmons must figure out his role on Earth. Burning Visions is violent, gory, and moody, letting you know that Todd McFarlane's Spawn is for adults only. You can almost feel the menace of the demon as the deadly atmosphere is set, and Spawn has his hooks on you to watch him throughout the show. With just 18 episodes, the 1999 show, Spawn, is definitely binge-worthy. Independence Day from Young Justice. On the 4th of July, Batman, Aquaman, Flash, and Green Arrow defeat villains with the help of their protégés, Robin, Aqualad, Kid Flash, and Speedy. They all meet at the Hall of Justice, where Speedy storms off after the media refers to them as sidekicks. Meanwhile, a fire at Project Cadmus demands the attention of superheroes, and they ask the protégés to stay there while they figure stuff out. Of course, the protégés are heroically disobedient, and they defy orders to save scientists at Cadmus. While there, Robin, Kid Flash, and Aqualad discover Superboy, Superman's clone. They free him from mind control and attack the villain Blockbuster, who had been terrorizing Project Cadmus. After Blockbuster is defeated, all the young heroes are introduced into a covert ops team at Mount Justice to be supervised by Red Tornado and trained by Black Canary. Miss Martian joins them as well. The fights and visuals are all tantalizing in Independence Day and promises to meet the high expectations you often have for a DC animated project. The wonderful animation for this episode won an Emmy Award for individual achievement in animation. The show it led to, Young Justice, is set on Earth 16 and has 98 episodes that ran from 2010 to 2022.
Dare.
The Awakening. Gargoyles. We begin in 994, when Vikings attack a medieval castle in Scotland, but are met with the terrifying power of gargoyles, a race of dragon-like creatures that become stone during the day but come alive at night. Goliath, their leader, chases away the Vikings. The captain of the guard, Goliath, and his mentor rush outside to deal with them when they suddenly turn to stone at daybreak. The captain of the guard betrays them and allows the Vikings to enter. The next night, Goliath sees all the gargoyles smashed and the castle razed. The Awakening is quite a long story, as it stretches over 5 parts. It also introduces Detective Elisa Maza, a regular character in the show. It's not a big surprise that Gargoyles has a cult following from its premiere in 1994 to this day. Just the first episode is full of so much lore that is backed by fairy tales, folk tales, and mythology. Despite having a dark tone, the show also makes sure to highlight the wholesomeness of the relationship between humans and gargoyles. A Hero for Earth. Captain Planet and the Planeteers. A Hero for Earth is the most apt name for the pilot for Captain Planet and the Planeteers, because what else is Captain Planet but a hero for Earth? The episode begins with the spirit of Earth, Gaia, sleeping peacefully on Hope Island when suddenly a rumbling wakes her up. She realizes that all the pollution of Earth, exaggerated by overpopulation, is what woke her up. So, she decides to give 5 special people across the world the power to fight for Earth. The 5 people people. Kwame, Guy, Linka, Wheeler, and Ma-Ti are called to Hope Island and given the powers of earth, water, wind, fire, and heart respectively, in the form of rings. They are soon sent to their first mission of defeating Hoggish Greedly, a corrupt man who is illegally drilling for oil in the ocean and polluting the coastline. As the Planeteers bond and overcome odds to help, they also discover that when their powers combine, a hero for Earth comes out, Captain Planet. The first episode of Captain Planet and the Planeteers does more than introduce the key characters, as it also shows us the values the show will be battling for: protection of Earth and reduction of pollution, all through the power of friendship. Created by Barbara Pyle and Ted Turner, Captain Planet and the Planeteers gives us hope in this burning world from the very first episode.
Of 10 tigers.
Escape from Mongo, Defenders of the Earth. Aired on September 8, 1986, Escape from Mongo is the first aired episode of Defenders of the Earth based on the King Features Syndicate's comic strips. On a stormy night, Flash Gordon crashes his spacecraft into Mandrake the Magician's mansion. Mandrake and Lothar bring him in, and he reveals that his wife, Dale Arden Gordon, and son, Rick, had been kidnapped by Ming the Merciless. As the trio tries to rescue them, Rick escapes with the help of Zuffy, an extraterrestrial creature. Unfortunately, Dale dies after being tortured in Ming's Inquisitor machine. Learning that Ming was planning an invasion on Earth, Lothar, Mandrake, and Flash enlist the help of Lothar Jr., Rick, Phantom, and his daughter Jedha. They are guided by Dale's essence trapped in a crystal. Realizing that their strength together is unparalleled, they band together to be known as the Defenders of the Earth. Although Escape from Mongo is the first aired episode, Defenders of the Earth had an unaired pilot where the plot followed the same story, but Phantom had a son, while Flash had a daughter. Why the changes were made, we will never know. Unlike other pilots, Escape from Mongo does not give the cookie-cutter introductions. Instead, we are thrown right in the middle of action. Highly underrated, Defenders of the Earth aired from 1986 and lasted 65 episodes.
It's just getting started.
Final Exam. Teen Titans. Headmistress of Hive, the supervillain academy, sends her students Jinx, Gizmo, and Mammoth to destroy the Teen Titans to prove themselves to Slade. They catch the Titans on a pizza outing and defeat them. They all retreat to the Titans' tower, where they are again invaded by Hive and kicked out of their own tower. They regroup and use Cyborg's stolen arm as a spy drone and sabotage the tower system. This creates so much chaos that the villains rush to the rooftop, where the Titans were waiting to have a showdown. The Titans, having learned from their failures, attack and take back their home. Meanwhile, Slade reveals that he never expected the villains to succeed and only wanted to test the power of the Titans. This is the crux of Final Exam, which kickstarted Teen Titans. The episode does a great job of familiarizing us with the characters and telling us that Slade is going to be one hell of a villain to look forward to. Released in 2003, Teen Titans is an oldie but a goodie.
Are we dead yet? Far from it, Arthur. We have the...
The Tick versus the Idea Man. The Tick, a superhero, and his sidekick, Arthur, reminisce about the time they first met. Tick had been appointed to protect the city after a bizarre stunt at the National Super Institute in Reno, Nevada. Meanwhile, Arthur had just lost his job because of his weird moth suit. Their paths cross when Tick crashes into Arthur and declares him his sidekick. After a quick lunch, Arthur and Tick set off on their first mission to catch masked robbers. They are too fast for them though, and escape on a blimp. The mayor reveals that the robbers were the Idea Men, who had planted a bomb at the dam and were asking for a ransom. Tick uses this opportunity to win over the reluctant Arthur and teaches him to fly. Together, they set out to stop the Idea Men, joined along the way by other unstable and quirky heroes like American Maid, Big Shot, and Die Fledermaus. After Tick successfully saves the city, Arthur accepts his role as Tick's sidekick. Based on the Tick comics by Ben Edlund, the Tick started to air in 1994 with The Tick versus the Idea Men. The episode tells everyone who watches it that the show does not and will not take itself seriously. Ingenious satire wrapped in self-aware wit, The Tick is the show for you if you've grown tired of the superhero genre. Marvelous verdict. We hope we have satisfied all your retro superhero needs with this list. If you liked the video, please let us know by tapping on that thumbs up. Did we forget any of your favorites? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll make sure to add it to our next list. We'll soon be back with some more awesome stuff, but until then, stay super.